Hello.
Hi, Chris.
Hello. My camera is off. So here we are. Hi.
Hey, Chris. Good to see
Good to
you.
meet
How are you
you.
today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, Chris.
Cool.
So,
Great
how's
to
your day?
meet you.
Yeah, my pleasure to meet you. How's your day so far?
Good. Good. I mean, where are you?
I'm in India. I'm from India.
Oh, okay. How's the weather there at the moment?
It's a little bit hot here. The sunny over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have actually hot weather in LA too. I mean, for February, it's like too hot. But yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. So, Chris, you recently joined Agents on the Battlefield. So,
Yes.
can you tell me how it all got yourself to get into Agents on the Battlefield?
Yeah, I'm the oddball in the group, the alien kind of, the alien intruder. Um, I met JD in Los Angeles at some event a few years ago, and we got into talking. And he's metal, and I'm not a total metalhead per se, but I always love to listen to metal. I listen to a lot of styles, but I like music when it's dynamic and dramatic often
Yeah.
and epic. So it's a lot of metal is exactly that. And we just got to talking and liked each other
Yeah.
enough to be working together. We did then later on we did for my production music library, we did an album of short metal instrumentals, just like 1.5 minutes,
Yeah.
2 minutes for TV use. And from that on, then he all of a sudden told me about this project that he wanted to do with Angels on the
Yeah.
Battlefield, with the stage show,
Yeah.
and bringing in the topic of mental health and working with the U Rock Foundation and maybe other foundations as well in that field. And just wanted to hear what I thought of it. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. And if you want to bring in like strings and keyboard stuff and all that and bring in that flavor as well. So yeah, and now I'm in a metal band.
Amazing, amazing, Chris. And it seems like you guys are working on a single. So how is your contribution and what is that you have brought into Angels on the Battlefield?
um, yeah, as I see it, I'm the, as I said, kind of the intruder there with the other three guys. They're the metal band, and I bring in the more unusual flavors to the
Yeah.
songs. We're currently in mixing stage of a first single that will be released with all four of us. And so in that, for instance, I brought in like some church organ to
Mhm.
bring the gravitas and the heaviness to the song. And it adds that additional epic flavor that the song already has. It's a tour de force. It's a very fast song, like lots of shredding.
Yeah.
I'm JD can pull it off on the guitar, but I have to see how I will ever play that live. But and then like some strings, a choir that comes in at the end that brings a, yeah, that cinematic feeling kind of
Yeah.
that metal often has in
Mhm.
itself already. And I always like when these genres get together a little bit and hybrids come out of it, like when bands of either genre use stuff from other genres and make the music interesting with that.
Wonderful, wonderful, Chris. And like Angels on the Battlefield always do, this single is gonna be a fundraising thing for Europe Foundation. So what
Yes.
is your feelings towards this and what do you think about that?
When JD told me about it, that's kind of the overarching topic, to raise awareness about mental health issues and how people can get help. I was immediately in. I mean, I know my anxieties and all that, so and I know how I need to do some self-care as well every now and then at least, and like do yoga and get some rest and do workout and all that to keep my, as they call it in I think Zen Buddhism, monkey mind, a little bit on the leash, that my mind is not always racing and like jumping from branch to branch, from topic to topic, because that kind of drives you crazy sooner or later, and just adds to anxieties. And I know about that and how I can overcome it, or at least work with it. And I think there are a lot of people out there, especially in our day and age, where it's all hectic and like the workload is more and more, and everything going on in the world. People tend to have anxieties, and that can turn to depression and even worse. And I think it's a good thing to raise awareness, to make it, give it, get it out of the dark corner, so to say, and make it more public, and talk about it. And the Euroc Foundation obviously does that through music, which is totally great. And I think especially metal music, like other harsher genres, you can let off some steam with it, which also is somehow tuning into that whole mental health topic, because letting off steam every now and then is also important.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Chris, recently you have joined the board of directors for the organization of composers and lyrics. So I know it's an esteemed organization that has been going on for ages now. So how does it feel to be part of that? And
Oh,
what
that's yeah, that's humbling and nice. I became a member of the SCL when I moved to Los Angeles in 2015. And it helped me a lot to get my network going here, to meet fellow composers and songwriters, and have all their seminars and like film screenings. Not now during the pandemic; they were only online, obviously. But it usually is a good crowd and very welcoming. And like on the board, there are people like Charles Bernstein, who among others, wrote the music for Friday the 13th. So, I mean, one of the coolest horror scores out there, stuff like that. It's truly humbling, and it's great to be in that crowd, and also to help the organization maybe grow, or and bring in what little expertise I can bring in there. So yeah, it's truly great.
Wonderful, Chris, wonderful. And I know you have been working with a lot of musicians, artists throughout your career, and you also had your own band, No Career. So, what is happening with No Career now? Are you still making a lot of music with the band, or what's currently the situation on No Career?
Yeah, no Carrier was always kind of my project. I always called myself the dictator in the band. It was always more a studio project. We toured a little bit in California with my German singer, because I'm from Germany, and it started all there in the mid 90s. And it's still kind of going. I branched out after moving to Los Angeles with a few other singers, so it's more of a bigger project now. We'll see where it goes. And that's the funny thing with No Carrier is, it's more electro pop,
Yeah.
but it has I guess a theatrical feel that appeals to a lot of metal fans. We had really great reviews from metal signs. I always liked that, and maybe because it's with the singing and the vocals and the kind of theatrical lyrics, it's just a great appeal to people who are open to other styles as well.
Wonderful, wonderful, Chris. And also, you're an award-winning composer, songwriter, and producer. So, how do you feel about the accomplishments so far?
I'm grateful for all of them, obviously. Definitely, it's some like there's always room for more, of course. It's a lot of indie projects, and I'm happy to be a part of that. It's like there are some great short movies I had the fortune to be scoring. One is called Intervention, which is also about mental health, depression, but also the opioid crisis, especially here in the US. That people who have, in the case of the character in that movie, back pain for whatever reason, then get addicted to opioids because of the pain medication they get, and all of a sudden they can't do without the medication anymore, stuff like that. That movie got a few good awards at film festivals, and I'm very happy. The team was really great, and the two lead actresses are great actresses. So it was really great to write some somber and dramatic music for that.
Wonderful, Chris. And when US was in turmoil in 2020 with COVID and the unrest situation at the time, you came out of the situation and you made something epic with 36 other musicians, a cover of different Mode's People or People. So can you tell me how this is all worked out and what made you to do this and how did you feel about the outcome of this?
Mhm. That kind of got started when after when the whole Black Lives Matter movement started, really started in at that time, and like police brutality got more into focus of the media, and I was watching the riots on TV, and I somehow had that Depeche Mode song "People Are People" in my mind, where there's the line, "I don't understand how can a man hate another man," and all that. And I thought, okay, we can't get together in a studio. I also would like to have more people than just me and a singer doing it, and maybe making it into a more orchestral rock version that we did. So I asked friends and colleagues if they want to participate. We had from the 36 people, I think it was like 20 singers or so. So we have a
Yeah.
big choir. And then I did a basic arrangement and just sent it around, and people recorded in their home studios, and it worked out. Sometimes if you don't know what the other one is playing,
Yeah.
it might become a big cacophony, but it really worked out. And there was it sounds like they're all in a room and playing together. I'm very happy about that. And we're still trying to raise money for social justice organizations here in the US, like the NAACP and the Southern Poverty Law Center, and another organization called Headcount. They also work with music and at concerts to get people registered to vote. So yeah, that's still ongoing. And so and every stream helps, every share helps the cause, even if it's just a few cents that then we can get. We're donating all the money we get from it. If it will ever be in a movie trailer or whatever, and we would get paid for it, then everything would go there.
Wonderful, Chris. Wonderful. And
Yeah.
JD Wiggumney is like he has been working on this mental illness awareness, and he tries to bring out the inner demons out from a lot of people, and he through his music he does a lot of things. And what is your thoughts on mental illness, and how do you feel to get into this work along with JD Wiggumney now?
I feel it's a great opportunity, expressing all that through music. And when we get that stage show and the album together, it definitely will be like a journey. He has a storyline fleshed out there already through the songs of the album and the stage show, that then will probably be with dancers that
Yeah.
they will kind of acting out the story of the songs. And it's a great journey. It's I don't know if it's a coming of age thing as well. It definitely is a coming of age in the mental health area thing. And it's I feel it's a great opportunity to bring that topic to the front. And with music, I mean, music is a universal language, and as this is instrumental music, it's even more universal. I mean, there's songs with English lyrics a lot of people understand,
Yeah.
but with instrumental music you often can do much more, and people can immerse themselves without having to listen to lyrics. So that's why I always like instrumental music as well very much, because you can get your own movie in front of your inner eye.
Wonderful, wonderful, Chris. And in the future and in the coming days, since you are now in Angels on the Battlefield, so what is your focus and what will be your collaboration with the band? And do you want to bring more of your kind of style, the electronic, into the band? So what will be the plans for the future?
The next part will be definitely working on the songs for the album and the stage show. And these are there in great versions already that JD recorded on his own. And we together, the four of us, will work on that. My idea to bring in is not just like typical like an orchestra, because orchestral metal is a thing and it always sounds great, but also maybe some more exotic instruments, like a didgeridoo or whatever, or flutes and things, and bring that more from the scoring world, where composers often use stuff from wherever together with a classical orchestra or so to build a score that sounds a bit different and fresh. And I think it's a good idea to bring that into Angels on the Battlefield and the metal tracks, because it will open them up. It will also open them up to a maybe even to a bigger audience. And again, with the topic of a journey, in that case, a wizard's journey, but everyone's journey kind of, and struggle with mental health or with daily issues, with everything going around, with stress. I think bringing in other instruments is also a way to, or we hopefully can paint that picture of that world and that journey, and how different stages in that journey flesh out then.
Wonderful, wonderful, Chris. And how it's going to be for your audience, and when now you are coming into the metal way, so how is going to react, your audience is going to react to that?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if like on my Spotify profile, it's a weird mix anyway already, from electronic instrumentals to score to a summery pop song from last year that's more Lana Del Rey style. So I think people who checked out me on streaming or whatever, and know a little bit of my work, know that they can expect the unexpected sometimes. And so, yeah, I mean, for me, it's not a big problem. I've always been open to different styles and genres, and doing things where others might say, you can't do that.
Wonderful, wonderful, Chris. And also, you are a voting member for the Grammys. So how does that work? And is there possibility for more metal genres to come in the future into Grammys?
Oh, that would be great, because I know that like they have a lot of categories and genres, but it's always you might want to have some like more subgenres and flesh it out. I remember that years ago, Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails once said that with the Grammys, they always had the problem. They were always running in the metal category, which Nine Inch Nails is not really metal. I mean, they use a lot of guitars, and they have their albums that are harsher and more punky sounding. But it's another genre, kind of, and so yeah, it would be good to have more. It's probably hard for them as well, for the Academy to bring in even more and divide it up more, because there's already a lot going on. But it definitely would be nice to widen it up a bit and have different substyles of metal music or other genres there represented better. Yeah.
Wonderful, Chris. And Chris, would you like to share some of the great moments that you had over the years?
Let me think. I mean, one of the greatest, or not one of the cool moments was we had a film screening of a movie about the Bronx in New York. It's actually called The Bronx. And Charles Fox, who wrote Killing Me Softly, all-time classic, wrote the score and the song for that movie. So he was there, and afterwards we were just sitting, the people who attended the screening, in that bar there at that club, and there was a piano. Obviously, we organized that, and he played that song, just sitting on the piano playing Killing Me Softly, everyone singing along. And it's moments like that where you're like, you pinch yourself. It's like, oh yes, I'm in here in LA and there's a songwriting legend sitting on the piano and playing stuff like that is always, it's it's very enjoyable and also very humbling.
Wonderful, wonderful, Chris. Thank you for sharing that. And how it all started for you from Germany to US and a lot of accomplishments in your life. So how it all started, what made you to get into the music thing?
I mean, music somehow was very important for me or felt important for me early on. I had like piano lessons from, I don't know, age 6 or 7 or so. Then later learned saxophone, played in a high school big band and saxophone quartet. And I somehow already with like in my teenage years, I discovered different music. It started out very pop, then rock came in, bands like Queen, obviously in the 80s and stuff like that. And then the more electronic DarkWave thing in Europe, especially in Germany, like the Gothic scene is a big thing. And so bands like Sisters of Mercy and The Mission and Darkwave acts like Wolfsheim or harsh EBM like Front 242, stuff like that. And also then Nine Inch Nails and Ministry and
Yeah.
where again Ministry with Psalm 69 kind of blew my mind. It was like, oh, there's harsh electronics and beats and but also guitars and he's screaming and it's all together kind of and that's what I really like when things come together. And it just music was always in Germany was still the side thing for me. I always had a day job or did my studies in audio engineering first and the jobs. And then with the move to San Francisco first and then LA, I had a little time. I was working freelance and could kind of build my network. And from conferences, everyone always said, well, you got to move to LA. So we have reluctantly, have excited, left San Francisco for LA, and then kind of started going there. And it's a journey. Again, it's a journey, and you can't usually expect that you're like the biggest superstar in a day or whatever. And maybe I don't want to be the biggest superstar anyway, just a few levels lower. And it's nice to be working in music. For me, music has always been the one constant in my life.
Wonderful, Chris. And do you feel that you have accomplished everything in your life, or do you have more dreams to accomplish in the future?
Oh, there's definitely more to. I hope more to come. I've just recently, over the last half year or so, learned a lot again, especially in songwriting. I did a songwriting camp last year, for instance, and that was definitely stepping out of my comfort zone. It was all on Zoom, so I could stay here in my studio, which was my comfort zone there. I had all my stuff and knew what to do. But I learned a lot there. I learned, I'm doing more co-writes now for songs, a lot of more pop rock stuff,
Yeah.
often especially geared towards sync placements in TV shows or so. And hopefully that will grow, but it's definitely, it's always a learning curve, and I enjoy that because it's you don't stand still kind of. And I think that goes for pretty much everyone on this planet. People often have to learn and adapt to new situations, but it can also be a very joyous thing to learn new things.
Wonderful, Chris. Wonderful. And in the future, are you considering do more collaboration with different genres of metal, from the extreme to the symphonic and to the other parts of metal as well? So, what are your thoughts on it? And do you have plans to do something different with other artists as well?
Mhm. I don't have totally fleshed out plans. I'm definitely looking forward to everything we'll do in Angels on the Battlefield. And that will, for me, it will will open up a new world and will be another learning experience as well. And if we ever play live, I haven't played live in years, so I have to like get my fingers trained again and do all that. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And another goal is definitely to co-write more songs with different artists and writers, and bring bring that hybrid aspect in there as well. For instance, I really like what the artist Poppy is doing. She with her kind of own style of pop, but then it's metal, and and she's like all over the place, but it often sounds really cool, and it blends together. Even if you're like, oh, she goes from a Beach Boys type of song into death metal, and it's weird, but it's cool.
Amazing, amazing, Chris. And Chris, finally, what would be the message that you want to give to your fans and for the people of heavy metal, the fans around surrounding them? So, what would be the message for them as well?
From the top of my head, regardless what style or genre you're in or what scene, just rock on. It's like keep rocking.
Wonderful, Chris. Wonderful, Chris. And Chris, I want to thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to have this wonderful
Sure.
interview with you. It was a real pleasure.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
And thanks for the great music you do. And I wish you all the best with Angels on the Battlefield. Looking forward for more great things from you, Chris.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
It's been great talking to you. Thanks. You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.